Hello, today I'm replacing the tube on this 16 by 1.5 Dahon rear 3 rear tire. First thing that I've done is to push the valve stem out. The tire is deflated and I push the valve stem out. Then I go around with my little tire levers and I'm just getting one side of this tire off the hub. I'm now deflating the tire, the inner tube, the rest of the way, because I want to push that valve stem out again, and then I want to remove the inner tube from inside the tire. It's always a bit tricky. You just have to take it out on the side that you've got overhanging though, and then you snake it out just like you see here. It got caught on the little strip that covers the spokes. Now with the inner tube out of the tire, the rim comes out pretty easy. That lets me inflate the inner tube. I've got it in the sink now. I am looking for leaks. I want to make sure this tire isn't going to be leaking anywhere. I want to do this before I install the tire again. I don't want to have to reinstall it when I find a leak. So I've just filled up the sink with water, enough water to submerge it. I keep the water still, and I'm looking for bubbles. It'll appear as bubbles coming from the hole, or if the hole's on the other side, the bubbles will kind of crawl up the side of the tire. But in any case, you will see bubbles forming at a slower or faster rate. I didn't find any holes or punctures though, happy about that. So now I can go and install the new tire, but first I want to show you the old tire. Just look at some of the wear on this. This bike, the hub, says it was manufactured in the 80s, and I'm gonna guess the tires, they might still be the same ones. They're very beat up, they're frayed, so it's time to get a new tire. This is the new tire from Canadian Tire. It's got the same tread pattern, it's the same size, but it's brand new. So before I put the tire on, the spokes where they come through the rim, we've got a sharp little pokey bit. So that's what this strip of rubber is going to cover. So I wrap that around the rim, cover those spokes. Then installing the tire, it's basically just the opposite of disassembling it. I'm going to put the tire onto the rim. I'm going to sink one side in first. Sometimes it depends on how finicky your tire is. This one was actually really easy to change. It was perfect. Sometimes you might need to use your tire irons to get it on. The key thing here is to make sure that the side that you get in first falls into that groove in the middle of the rim, the deepest part of the rim. That way you don't have to stretch it over. And I am actually using my tire irons here to slip it on. I'm using my tire irons to try and slip it on, I should say. I still do struggle a little bit with this part. But there, you see I got it. That's how it should look when you've got it fully in. So I've identified where the hole is for the valve. I'm going to push the valve stem through that hole. I want to do that first thing because that rubber strip keeps falling off. And before I inflate the tire, I need to make sure that stem is straight. So now I'm just pushing the deflated tube into the tire. Just stuffing it in. All around like so. Now I'm going to pump up the tire just a bit. I'm not going to fully inflate it. I just want to stand away from the rim when I go with my tire irons to put the other side of the rim in. So here you see me working on the other side, the other bead. I'm pushing it into the rim where it sits. I'm just going around. Again, this tire was surprisingly easy to change. They usually aren't this easy to change. I actually get it on entirely without the use of tire irons, which I've never experienced before. So I've pushed it on. The tube is inside the tire. That's where I want it to be. The tire is on the rim. That's what I want. So now it's pretty well done. I just have to pump it up now. So I'm going to be inflating it to the rated pressure. Before I get fully to the rated pressure, it's just kind of something I do. I just push around the beads to make sure that inner tube isn't caught underneath or anything. I don't want it to be pinched. I don't want it to chafe. I don't want to ruin that tube in any way because I'd have to replace it again. And then when I'm done that, I just pump up the tire the rest of the way to the rated pressure, and then the tire has been changed. So if you've got your own Dahon 3 tire, I hope this video was helpful. Thank you for watching. Have yourself a great day.